Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your January 2024 Tarot reading. I have laid out the African Tarot and the Tarot of the Divine along the axis of the horoscope wheel. I'll clarify with the good Tarot, and I will use 3 oracle decks throughout the reading. I have, you're the most important part of my reading. I appreciate the time that you're spending with me here and all the support that you give me by simply your presence. I am going to be doing personal readings. I'm just starting them. All the information is in the description box below. For safety reasons, I will never contact you offering you a reading or asking you for money in particular about a reading. However, I am doing a free monthly tarot card reading giveaway, a free reading, a standard reading, not unlike what I do here regularly on the longer side. And I will necessarily pick those winners from the comment section and from donations I've received, and I will send an email out to you offering you a free reading and asking you for some information, never asking you for money. So be aware of that. All right, so Libra, let's get started with your overall energy, the 10 of Wands. This is a card that is very familiar to the energy that you've been receiving lately. And for many of us, you are obligated to many people. You have many responsibilities and tasks. Many of these obligations you understand as a part of your responsibility to the community, to your work very likely being an organization that serves the community in some way, and that is an extra level of responsibility you feel in discharging these tasks. You are recognizing, however, that there are ways in which you can take on and complete your obligations with a greater sense of personal fulfillment, serving your own needs as being a priority. So as opposed to doing this work that you are always relied upon to do and to do well, that you are deserving of receiving support and help in order to not only discharge responsibilities that are meant to support others, but that your support is owed to you. And that support primarily is coming through your own sense of your desire to organize your responsibilities in a way that serves you, serves your schedule, does not deplete you, does not exhaust you, and that takes in and prioritizes your need in the service. If that need is a greater enjoyment in the discharging of your responsibilities, you're prioritizing that. And this is really shifting the whole expectation of the fulfillment of your tasks. You already know how to do this well, but now you're doing it on your own terms so that you can enjoy the process. You love being of service, but you are not allowing yourself to be replenished under this current regime. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, indeed, it looks as though you have understood the challenge before you with regard to your work, your community, even your domestic environment, perhaps all environments, and you're moving away from a situation where you understand that your participation is no longer tenable. My sense here is that you have recognized that you are not seen or heard. Your input, your guidance, the terms of your best effort have been ignored. And in order to find the chaos to find the peace and a way out of what you experience is a chaotic and overwhelming amount of responsibility that you weren't even bought into. Your buy-in, your participation, your preferences as to the way in which you were discharging your responsibilities was not sought, was not respected. You are instead moving away from the situation with a view to finding the peace, finding the way within yourself to better able to fulfill your mission. In the first house, we have the Six of Cups, and this is perhaps part of the impetus to this change that you're experiencing. This is a connection with happier memories from your past. There may be a nostalgia in reconnecting with someone or an opportunity that featured during your childhood or formative years where you were able to exhibit or practice your talents and skills without judgment, without an agenda, purely for the joy and pleasure and play, the creativity of this exercise. There may be an old friend who you knew from those days who reminds you of something that you did together joyfully, happily, and that is rebolstering your memory of a better way of exercising your responsibilities, your obligations, your responsibilities, so that you are finding that happiness and pleasure again. That's the very thing that's been missing from your consistent and persevering, disciplined way you have of meeting your responsibilities, of completing your tasks and obligations. In the fourth house, your history, your home, your roots, you have accomplished and are, through this exercising of moving away from something that isn't working for you, that isn't giving you the pleasure. This is based on a practice you have completed, you have achieved. This is a practice where you have been moving towards those things that support you, that appreciate you, that feel good to you as a result. When you're acknowledged for the effort, the service you give from love, it is important that that be honored, respected, and valued. And you are now valuing these qualities within yourself. You've erected this much healthier emotional foundation for yourself. And now you're able to assess opportunities, offers of love, shall we say, or energy on the basis of how they feel to you. This is you perhaps receiving something that you thought you always wanted. Maybe it was that job that you always wanted that ended up being a stack of obligations and requirements that were exhausting and that did not make you feel good. Because even if you were exercising the talents and skills that you have, you were not being recognized for it. You were not being appreciated or valued for the work that you did. And so this is really actually indicating that you're perhaps separation from a challenging situation, or you're seeking solutions to an untenable situation is absolutely informed by now your ability to feel your feelings, to process and validate your experience, your intuition, to not shy away from the way you feel, not deny that, but actually recognize that that is a gauge of success for you. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, the Seven of Cups, it looks like you're receiving many offers, whether you are seeking a solution to this current rather oppressive environment that you're in, or you're finding alternatives to that. You are perhaps overwhelmed with your choices. And in this case, this is not so much a projection of woulda, coulda, shouldas, or fantasies of escape, but this really looks like opportunities to allow you to achieve what it is that is important to you, that is significant to you, while using other methods than those you've considered before. If that's taking another job, you perhaps are being offered that. If it's taking a different position or moving into a different tactic or on another department of your business. I'm thinking of alternatives to the work environment. Within that environment, you are pursuing those. You're, in fact, being overwhelmed by offers from others who see your value and see your effort, appreciate what you do, and want to elevate you and understand your devotion to your craft, your service, your business. That is something that others are coming to you, chasing you down, because they would love to include you in their on their teams. I'm going to pull a Starry Beginnings Oracle card and ask Libra, if you're enjoying this reading so far, to please like this video, share this with someone who might find it useful or enjoyable. Comment below. I enjoy your feedback, absolutely, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Thank you. And I've pulled, you are healing your heart. The heart hurts, but it will mend in time. Interesting perspective. I like this because it's really reinforcing to me the devotion with which you do what you do. You work out of a sense of love and service. You enjoy being of service to others. In some cases, for some of you, and not being recognized or appreciated is something that is challenging to you. It's something that actually hurts you, not just your productivity or your performance. And I've also pulled a Flora and Fauna of Africa, and I pulled the leafcutter ant. And the flower associated with this is called the pink knotweed, and the key word is confidence. Your persistence and patience will be rewarded. There is no need to rush. Work with like-minded people who achieve your goals more efficiently. I'm going to clarify the Six of Cups here in the first house with the Two of Earth, and in the second house, sorry, I got distracted there with my gemstones, and the Eight of Water in the third house. Yeah, there is a strong sense that you're moving away from a situation that is not working for you. You're definitely grounded in this experience now, this practice of validating your feelings and moving towards those things that feel good to you, that support you, that lift you up, that encourage you, that acknowledge your effort. And in some ways, there is a sense that you've learned all you can from the situation that you're in. These relationships have taken you as far as they can. And instead, you're taking a larger view of your effort. This can be strictly about your professional experience, but this can be about your life in general. That you're really looking at the skills you've gained in the past and ways that you can leverage that in the future. And that is not, it's more of a transformation that is not as simple as releasing old things and making way for new things. This is a subtler dance that you're engaged in. This is you really learning what you need to learn in the moment in order to take on new challenges, to project your effort into the future so that you're preparing yourself for something that you may yet not know, has not revealed itself. But you know that it is important that you be validated for your effort. And that is what you're attempting to accomplish in this decision that you're making and looking at these paths before you, even a sense of crossroads. The Four of Cups in the fourth house is clarified by the Nine of Fire in the fifth house and the Four of Air in the sixth house. This is part of a healing cycle for you. You have accomplished not only this emotional foundation, this new emotional balance, harmony in your life, but you've also come to elevate the illumination of the gifts you gain through the lessons you've learned. Even the connection to the past that may be primarily about a time when you felt good exercising your talents or being with like-minded people, being joyful and playful about your effort. You're really at a place of gratitude around your ability to deeply understand how much you've grown and to deeply value the opportunities you have around you to grow and improve. You have worked at something relentlessly, and this Nine of Fire precedes the Ten of Wands here. You have built up your professional practice, your work ethic, your experience in the working world, along great effort and perseverance. You have been patient. You have been battered. You've had some failures, but you have never given up. You are more determined than ever to reshape your disciplined effort in a way that feels good to you, that acknowledges, supports, and lifts you up. The Seven of Cups in the seventh house is clarified by the Hermit in the eighth house and the King of Water in the ninth house. This is interesting in the way that your maturing experience, your experience of maturing, this idea that your vulnerability, loving to do your work, can feel like a weakness, especially if your work is not highly paid or is labor intensive. I can think of a few professions that sounds like. But that is your anchor. The love of your service is what anchors you and gives you the authority to be who you are. You know that this is a sacred mission, a sacred purpose in your life. You know that this is who you are and what the world needs. However, there are others, maybe others with advisement, supervisors, co-workers that are full of unsolicited advice. And you are in a place of some retreat, some need to go inside. Find that still and authoritative voice that is about the right you have to be who you are. You are perfect the way you are. You're only in this moment realigning your attention so that you are receiving the joy, the pleasure, and the appreciation for doing the work that you do. And this may, in some ways, Libra, place you in a place where you may be perceived as a martyr. And you may have bought into that for a while, but you are understanding that you are not a martyr, that the improvement in the affairs of others improves your experience, improves the experience of the world, of your community, and that you are absolutely deserving of pursuing this purpose, this service, in a way that lifts you up, supports you, doesn't tear you down, doesn't deplete you, doesn't exhaust you. The Six of Swords in the 10th house is clarified by the Nine of Water in the 11th house and the Hangman in the 12th house. Yep, I'm not surprised by the Hangman at all. The Nine of Water is basically the beautiful Nine of Cups. So I love it when this happens. This is a confirmation that your joy is in providing service to those who need it, those in need. Whatever your service is, that can be being a good parent. That can be a wonderful volunteer. That can be a good sibling or a joyful teacher, a teacher who loves their students, who supports their students, who finds the good in students, who empowers their students with their students' strengths. Whatever it is, whatever service you give, it is from a place of love that supports you ultimately as well. And you're totally keyed into this. However, in order to make this shift that you're making, where you're prioritizing your deservedness of appreciation, respect, love, energy, compensation, prosperity, abundance, these are all things you're deserving of, and you are feeling that. And as a result of this big shift you're undergoing, you are recognizing the need to step back and recalibrate your perspective, the way you see the world, the way you understand what you've learned. You're absorbing that still because this is a major shift. Tens are always big transitions. You're leveling up, as we like to say, and in order to do that, it is about being centered in who you are, centered in your heart, in a way that demands respect, demands attention, demands appreciation and reciprocity. I'm going to finish up this reading, Libra, with the language of flowers. And out has flown the everlasting daisy. And the key word here is fortitude. Be brave and dig deep. Thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, namaste.